Hey, good morning everyone. Buddy here from the Denman Homestead. Me and Steph have been working out in the garden, and I want you to see what Steph just finished. Dun dun dun. Doesn't it look so nice? Fresh straw down in the walkways. Looks, every time that we do this, it just shocks me how beautiful it looks. Let's hope it's gonna rain tonight, probably kind of hold that straw down, so should stay in place for a good amount of time, hopefully. So what we ended up doing was we took the weed eater and we got like really low down into the paths and got to where there was like, I mean, we were hitting lots of dirt and everything, and then came by with this, which is a mixture of salt and soap and vinegar and water, and we sprayed the rows. Really, look at these chickens have already been scratching all up in this. Oh, chickens. We sprayed the rows really well with the mixture to try and suppress the weeds, keep the grass down. Made sure not to spray the plants, but we got every single row sprayed, and then that was yesterday, and then today came around and Steph did the straw. Also this grass all around this is to try and help with the erosion. Grass and dirt all around the back patio slab. That came from over here. We had some, I don't think I showed you the wood pile yet, but hey ladies. So that grass came from around these two trees. So it was getting like pretty thick. So we took this grass out and that grass out right there. And it just happened to be the perfect amount to transplant over there to the slab. So that is awesome. So this was our old wood pile. You can see I left some pretty big grooves in the ground on the tractor trying to move everything, but I got all this cleaned up, all the wood. It was just getting kind of messy and snaky over here, so got all that cleaned up. I was able to separate all of the wood from like the bad rotten wood. I just kind of piled up over there. It's all just disintegrating. And then the good wood I was able to stack up next to the old goat house and make it a little bit neater and out of the way. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on, and it's hatch day again. It's baby hatch day. So check that out.
Looks like we've got one about to hatch. Today is hatch day. Oh my goodness. So the blue egg's about to hatch, but the little olive colored egg right next to it has a pip, so that one's going to be working its way out in the next 24 hours. And for the newbies to our channel, you may be, or newbies to hatching eggs, or have never seen an egg hatch before, it might be a little chaotic for you to see all these baby chicks just flopping around, rolling around these eggs. But it's actually very encouraging to the chicks that are trying to hatch to hear and feel their fellow little brother and sisters chirping around. It's it gives them a boost to break out of the shell. It's like a communication thing, like, come on out, we're ready for you. So I know it looks crazy, them just rolling all around, but it's actually a really good thing. Some eggs can take a really long time to hatch. Some eggs can go from pip to zip to hatch in a matter of an hour. Kind of depends. I've seen an egg pip and take a full 24 hours before they start to unzip. So every egg is different. Every chick is different. The shell thickness. Sometimes even the breed can take, or are notorious for taking longer. Some people claim that brown eggs take longer to hatch than the others, but I've not really noticed that. I've not seen that to be true on my chickens. But this one's getting really close to being fully unzipped. Another thing that I'll add about hatching chicks is I think a lot of people, especially in the beginning, are tempted to go in and help. They think, oh my gosh, it stopped moving. Oh my gosh, is it breathing? And I'd say 95% of the time, if your chicken who's trying to break out of their shell just stops moving, it's just that they're tired and they're taking a break because they're babies. And it takes a lot of work to get out of that shell. To help a chick hatch, most of the time, is a death sentence for that chicken. And there's a couple reasons why a chick may die while hatching or have struggles while hatching. I have intervened before in the past because a chicken has to be positioned in a way where they can fully turn themselves in the egg so they can make a line around the top to break free. Sometimes they are positioned in a way where they can't fully, they can only get so far in cracking, then they get stuck and then they get tired and sometimes they just pass. So there are those instances, but to tell the difference between the two is almost impossible. So you really just have to let them try on their own for at least 24 hours. And then if there's still nothing, oh, he's so close. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Come on out, baby. Here he comes. Aww. Happy birthday, little buddy. So yeah, but what I was saying was after 24 hours, if they're still not making any progress from the last time you saw them, what I've done is I've gotten a wet paper towel, warm wet paper towel, and grabbed the egg quickly out of the incubator and just slowly taken the shell, not the membrane, but the shell, and chipped it away. And if you see blood or if you see veins, you stop right away, because as the chicken is hatching, it absorbs all of the blood from the blood vessels. Kind of like when a baby's being born, you know, the placenta delivers the blood to the baby, and here he comes. And if you can see what's left in the shell, it doesn't look great. It's not very pretty, but it is what's left of the yolk, because the yolk is what the babies feed off of the entire time. And it is attached to them like with an umbilical cord until they hatch. Sometimes we'll even drag it behind them for a little bit until it falls off. Hi there, little guy. Now I won't reach in and grab any of these chicks for a while, because I need the humidity to stay, and the temperature to stay the same while everyone is hatching. And they can stay in here for 24 hours without food or water because of all the nutrients and everything they've absorbed through the yolk right before they hatch. You definitely do not want to take a chick out when it's wet. When you do take the chicks out, they need to be completely dry and fluffy. See how that one right next to him is drying off? So you can tell he's been hatched for a while, or she. That's the difference between the two. This one over here is sleepy. He flipped over, but this is a good position where you can see where the umbilical cord was, kind of on his belly. That's where he or she was attached to the yolk inside of the egg. That little spot on his belly. And that's where they get all of their nutrients right before they hatch and during incubation. He'll flip over on his own in a little bit. He's just tired. Another fun fact about chickens is they are born with something called an egg tooth on the tip of their beak. And I'll try to see if I can zoom in enough. It's this little sharp point at the tip of their beak that will fall off actually in a couple days. But they are born with it so that they can break the shell as they are hatching. See this little tiny little knot at the top? It becomes more noticeable when they dry out more. But they use it to break the shell, and then 2 or 3 days after they've been born, that little tiny tooth falls off. It's called an egg tooth. But we will wait to see who else hatches. Happy birthday, babies!
And here we are later on today, and we've got a lot of little babies in there. Hello, little babies. Ten have hatched so far. It looks like some more to come. I see some more little pips. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye everyone.
On the Denman Homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman Homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.